All right, guys, so we're going to do our second workout, which is thinking and sharing effectively about your book. Okay, and we're going to use Whirligig as our as what we're going to do to fill out the reading or thinking and sharing effectively assignment. Okay, so when we're looking at this, we want to list kinds of thinking readers might use to help them understand what they're reading. So with that, we're going to talk more about like questions, making connections, visualization, those kinds of things. And specifically, we're going to focus on the question aspects. Okay. So we're going to be coming up with questions as we read chapter 2. And since today's kind of wonky because we're getting called out for pictures and stuff, that's why we're doing the video. And that's why I'm kind of walking you through it like this, because some people will be in class, some people won't. So I just want to make it where we're all on the same page. We're just going to do the questions part. So if I go here, your assignment looks like this. So when we go to reading is thinking, as you read chapter 2, we are still in the beginning of the book. So these are questions that we want to start asking ourselves if we haven't done so already. One thing about Whirligig is we now are on a different topic than we were with Brent. We're in a different storyline. So we're going to have a lot of questions, and some right now may not make a lot of sense because we have went to another character and we may not be able to add it up yet just what is happening because we're still at the beginning of the book. But when you're at the beginning of the book, the great questions you want to start asking are, these are your predictions. We're starting to naturally start predict what we think is going to happen because that's just human nature. We're curious, we want to know, and so we're going to start trying to put the pieces together to make those predictions. So we want to know who are our main characters. Well, in chapter 2, we're going to have new main characters, okay? Where is this taking place? We're in a new setting with our chapter. When is this taking place? Who is the narrator of this storyline? Because it's going to change from Brent, because Brent was the narrator in the first chapter. Now we have a different narrator. So we're going to ask a lot of questions like who, what, when, where, those kinds of things, trying to figure out. Okay. And our questions are going to change some as we go through the book, because at different parts of the book, we have a better understanding of different things that we did at other parts of the book. So at this point, we're still at the beginning. We're still asking a lot of questions. So what you're going to do to get ready for tomorrow is you are going to be filling out 2 questions, okay? Whatever your questions are regarding chapter 2 from what you read. So you're going to be doing this as you read chapter 2, because when you start asking questions, you need to write them down, otherwise you're going to forget. So you're going to write your question here, and you're going to write your other question here. Then you're going to make a prediction. So if I have a question, I'm naturally, as a human, I'm going to start answering it and try to come up with it. So I'm going to put that here. And then tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to share with our partner the questions that we had, and you guys are going to discuss. Maybe they have the same questions. Maybe they don't have the same questions, or maybe they hadn't thought about that. We're going to see if we're all on the same page about where we are in this book. And you might find that they had questions maybe you hadn't even thought of, or maybe they had a prediction maybe you hadn't thought of. And so we're going to start sharing and getting that reading is thinking flowing. Okay. All right. So the rest of the class is for you to work on this. Once you're finished, then you need to go back into your independent reading. Make sure you set your timer so that you know to log in your reading log.